A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
My brothers and sisters, citizens of Israel, a short while ago, Israel and the United States launched a joint campaign, Operation Lion's Roar. The goal of the operation, to end the threat from the Ayatollah regime in Iran. At this hour, the IDF is attacking targets of the oppressive regime, facilities of the Revolutionary Guard and the Basij, and together with the United States military, ballistic missile sites that threaten both Israel and United States forces. This operation will continue as long as necessary. For 47 years, the evil regime in Iran has called out, "Death to Israel, death to America." It has trampled the citizens of its own country, it has terrorized the peoples of the region, and spread an extensive terror network throughout the entire world. It has invested enormous resources to develop atomic bombs and tens of thousands of missiles intended, as it defined it, to wipe Israel off the map of the world. It also armed the terror proxies around us, in Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Judea, and Samaria, and it has spilled our blood. But if anyone needed further proof regarding the murderous nature of the Ayatollah regime, they received it last month. Because we all saw how this regime of terror in Tehran carried out an unprecedented mass slaughter of the citizens of Iran itself. It murdered in cold blood thousands of children, adults, and the elderly. Tens of thousands were imprisoned, tortured, and humiliated. And why? Only because they sought for themselves a life of freedom and dignity. In the war of revival and operation, like a lion cub, our heroic soldiers dealt a crushing blow to the Ayatollah regime and its proxies. But the wounded beast of prey has not ceased its attempts to recover, for that same purpose, to destroy us. In recent months, the tyrants in Iran have been plotting to rebuild their nuclear and missile capabilities, then hide them underground where we will not be able to strike them. If we do not stop them now, they will be immune. And for this purpose, their representatives in negotiations are trying to buy time in futile and deceitful negotiations with our American friends. But the tyrants in Iran have made a bitter mistake, because the United States is not buying their lies, and we will not sit idly by while the shadow of destruction hovers over us. And therefore, we have now launched Operation Lion's Roar, an action that is far more powerful than Operation Like a Lion Cub, which was very powerful. We are doing this in full cooperation with our friends in the United States. Under the courageous leadership of President Trump, together with the United States, we will strike a heavy blow against the terrorist regime. We will create conditions that will allow the brave Iranian people to cast off the yoke of this murderous regime. During Operation Am Khalavi, I was asked many times whether toppling the regime was the goal of the operation, in addition to removing the nuclear and missile threat, and I replied that this was not the goal, but it could certainly be the result. And indeed, that is exactly what began to happen when millions of Iranians took to the streets. And now they are given the opportunity to take their fate into their own hands. Citizens of Israel, as in Operation Kalavi, so too in the Lion's Roar, we will all be required to show patience and inner strength. Because there will be costs, and perhaps even heavy costs. But I know what wonderful strengths lie within our people, what wonderful strengths lie within you, citizens of Israel. Since the War of Resurrection began, we have stood together, and today too we will stand together with bravery, in brotherhood, with mutual responsibility. I ask all of you to strictly follow the Home Front Command's instructions, because as you already know, these instructions save lives. Challenging days lie ahead of us. Every military action involves risk, but the risk of not acting is infinitely greater. Because if we do not act, we will get a nuclear Iran, an Iran with tens of thousands of ballistic missiles, an Iran that will act to destroy us and will be immune to our counteractions. As a people who desire life, we have no choice but to go to battle. Except that this time we are doing it with the combined mighty power of the State of Israel and the United States of America. From here, I wish to address the citizens of Iran. You, the citizens of Iran and the Iranian army, the Artesh, you are not our enemies, and we are not your enemies. We have a common enemy, the murderous cult of the Ayatollahs, which has taken control of you through the oppressive forces of the Revolutionary Guard and the Basij. They are the ones who have degraded your wonderful country, dragging it to the lowest depths. They are the ones who slaughtered you in your masses. Therefore, in full coordination with my friend the President of the United States, I say to you, anyone who lays down their arms, including among the regime's forces, will ensure their safety and ensure their future. The Iranian people, in all its parts, the Persians, the Kurds, the Azeris, the Balokis, the Abkhazians, and all the other citizens of this wonderful nation, this is your opportunity to establish a new and free Iran. Take your fate into your hands. To establish a new and free Iran. Take your destiny into your own hands. Raise your heads. Look up toward the heavens. Our forces are there. Pilots of the free world. Everyone is coming to your aid. Help has arrived. And I believe that the day is not far off when Israel and a free Iran will join hands for the sake of security and peace, for the sake of progress and prosperity. Citizens of Israel, I wish to thank from the bottom of my heart the President of the United States, Donald Trump, the American people, the American military. President Trump is not only Israel's greatest friend in the White House of all time, he is also a determined leader of the free world. He looks directly at future generations, decides what is good for America, and then acts with responsibility and courage. Together, we bring a great light to everyone in whom the aspiration for human freedom is planted. In your name, citizens of Israel, I salute the commanders of the IDF and its soldiers, our Air Force, the Intelligence Directorate, the Mossad. To the women and men of the security forces, to the women and men of the rescue forces, I salute them for their courage and for the power of their actions. And I say to you, an entire nation stands behind you. An entire nation offers a prayer for your success. My brothers and sisters, in 2 days we will celebrate the holiday of Purim. 2,500 years ago, in ancient Persia, an oppressor rose against us with the exact same goal, to completely destroy our people. But Mordecai, the Jew, and Queen Esther, with their courage and resourcefulness, saved our people. In those days of Purim, the lot was cast, and the wicked Haman fell along with it. Today too, on the holiday of Purim, the lot is cast, and the end of the evil regime is to fall as well. The prophet Amos says, "A lion has roared, who will not fear?" In Operation Lion's Roar, we are roaring, Fear not, Israel, for are you not a lion cub? We will stand as one man with one heart, and with God's help, we will ensure the eternity of Israel.
This is one of the most significant moments in modern world history, certainly as important as the fall of the Berlin Wall, possibly as important as the end of World War II. Because make no mistake, we have all been living under the deadly cloud of a vile, despotic, murderous, fanatical Islamist terror regime since 1979, when the Ayatollahs, helped by the useful idiots of the left in the West, both in Iran and throughout Europe, America, Australia, elsewhere, throughout the cowardly West, especially the French, overthrew the Shah of Iran and installed a lunatic cleric who believed he was doing God's work. For decades, the West has pretended that we could somehow tolerate a mob of fanatical tyrants who murdered the non-believers, kidnapped hostages, hung gays and dissidents from cranes, forced every once proud and freedom-loving woman to wear the vile garbs of male oppression, and publicly proclaimed their desire to murder Americans and to murder Jews. This is the regime that murdered in cold blood anyone who raised even a finger in protest. They've slaughtered women, they've slaughtered dissidents, they've slaughtered protesters by the tens, if not hundreds of thousands over 5 decades. The Ayatollah's regime has terrorized and devastated so much of the Middle East with its proxies like Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, an endless army of terrorists that have caused mayhem, madness, and horror throughout that region. From hostage-taking to the fatwa against Salman Rushdie, and an unremovable death sentence against a man because of a book he wrote. That's how reasonable they are. To the endless proxy wars across the Middle East, this regime has been the very epitome of primitive brutality and barbarism. I visited Iran as a young boy shortly before the overthrow of the Shah. I would love to visit it again. I know Rita has long believed and feared it would not be possible for her to visit her birthplace in her own lifetime. All that may now have changed. Iran is a stunningly beautiful, ancient and historic country, but it has been violated and decimated by the fanatical Ayatollahs and their insane Islamist apocalyptic beliefs. But then came Donald Trump. Clearly, as I have said many times now, the greatest political leader of our lifetimes. And suddenly, the dream of a free Iran and a world free of the Ayatollahs is now possible. But as usual, all the idiots to the left, all the fools wallowing in their Trump derangement syndrome, all the morons who kept claiming Trump was a chicken or a coward or a buffoon, all of that lot underestimated the 47th President of the United States. I did not. Above all, the mullahs underestimated Donald Trump. It will be their final mistake in a lifetime of evil and wickedness. Hopefully the conditions will soon emerge for the citizens of Iran, the great Persian people, to rise and obliterate this entire sinister regime and ensure it never breathes or is heard of again.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
Would bring down the Ayatollahs with overwhelming force, arm in arm with Israel, and he would do so when he knew the time was right and all other avenues were exhausted. That time is now upon us. The son of the Shah spoke last night. Here's a bit of what he said.
همیهنان عزیزم، لحظاتی سرنوشت‌ساز پیش روی ماست. کمکی که رئیس جمهور ایالات متحده به مردم شجاع ایران وعده داده بود، اکنون رسیده است.
He goes on to say, we are very close to final victory, and I hope, says the Shah, to be with you as soon as possible so that together we may reclaim Iran and rebuild it. Let's certainly hope so.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now, it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now again the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons, would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel," or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America.
Mr. President Donald Trump, thank you for standing by the promise you made to the youth and people of Iran. You could have done what Barack Obama did, smile in front of the cameras and try to look humane and honorable while making deals with the mullahs and killers behind the scenes. But you didn't. You stood on the side of justice and the people of Iran. We will always be grateful to you and to Israel for helping free Iran from the grip of oppressors. I'm sure your name will be remembered in our history books for future generations. I also want to thank the great people of the United States for supporting us Iranians. And I can say with confidence that Donald Trump's first and most important goal in this attack on the Islamic Republic was to protect America and its people. Be thankful to him for eliminating what he saw as the biggest enemy and threat to the United States.
Let's dive right into today's topic.
2 days ago, American and Iranian diplomats were sitting across a table in Geneva, trying to stop a war. This morning, the bombs were already falling. The United States and Israel are now bombing Iran. Smoke rises over Tehran. Air raid sirens echo across Israel. And according to U.S. military planners, this is not a one-night operation. Officials describe it as weeks of sustained strikes. This is war. In the middle of the night, Donald Trump posted a message directly to the Iranian people, declaring what he called the hour of your freedom. He urged civilians to stay indoors as bombing continued, and then told them to take over their government once it was over. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the assault Operation Lion's Roar. The U.S. military named it Operation Epic Fury. Explosions were reported in Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, Karaj, and Kermanshah. Multiple missiles struck the district where Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei is usually based. Iranian officials say he was moved to a secure location. Iran retaliated almost immediately. Missiles and drones were launched toward Israel. Explosions were reported near U.S. bases in Bahrain and across the Gulf from Abu Dhabi to Qatar. Airspace was shut. Flights were grounded. The region was suddenly on edge. To understand how we got here, you have to understand one thing. Iran's nuclear program. For decades, it has been the central flashpoint between Iran and the West. Tehran insists the program is civilian. Western intelligence agencies disagree. Iran had been enriching uranium to levels just short of weapons grade and stockpiling it rapidly. U.S. defense analysts concluded that if Iran made the decision, it could produce enough material for a nuclear bomb in under a week. In June 2025, Israel struck Iranian nuclear facilities. The U.S. joined days later, hitting Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan in what the Pentagon called Operation Midnight Hammer. The message was clear. Stop enriching uranium or face consequences. Iran did not stop. Talks resumed. They stalled. They collapsed. They restarted. Days ago, negotiators met again in Geneva. The gap between both sides was never closed. And now we are here. What makes this moment different is timing. Iran today is more isolated than at any point since 1979. Its regional network, the so-called axis of resistance, has been badly weakened. Hezbollah is a shadow of its former self. Hamas has been decimated. The Houthis have been pushed back. At the same time, the U.S. military was already in position. Hundreds of aircraft, long-range bombers, the largest American buildup in West Asia in years. The infrastructure for this strike was in place long before today. And in February, President Trump said openly that regime change in Iran might be the best possible outcome. What happens next is unclear. Iran is weakened, but not defenseless. And then there is the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway carrying nearly 20% of the world's oil. If Iran closes it, the entire global economy will feel the shock. The biggest question remains unanswered. Is this about destroying a nuclear program or toppling a regime? Beijing is watching, New Delhi is watching, the world is watching. What began this morning may define the future of West Asia for a generation. Israel called it Operation Roaring Lion. The United States called it Operation Epic Fury, whatever the name. Today's attack could forever change the Middle East and risks a forever war of the kind Donald Trump had vowed to end. It began with American and Israeli strikes, targeting government buildings in Iran's capital, Tehran, including the Supreme Leader compound, as well as sites across western Iran, including Karaj K, Isfahan, Shiraz, and Kermanshah. Donald Trump's threat to take out the Iranian Navy was backed by explosions heard in the southern port cities of Butcher and Shaba. Iranian media said a girls' school was hit in the southern city of Minab, killing dozens. Iran hit back quickly at Israel, triggering air defenses and sirens across the country. It also appears to have closed the vital Strait of Hormuz and says it fired missiles at all the American bases in the Gulf, including in Qatar, Bahrain, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Jordan. So far, one casualty has been confirmed from falling debris. Panic on the streets of Tehran this morning as the first U.S. and Israeli missiles landed. Disaster or deliverance? After weeks of tension, they couldn't believe their eyes and ears. The U.S. justified the assault, saying a nuclear-armed Islamic Republic is a threat to the whole world. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. What happens then? What's the plan B? The plan B is for Iran to totally dismantle its nuclear program. Look, there are many, many countries around the world that are peaceful, that they focus on building their own country, your own country, our country. No one wakes up in the morning and says, we want to annihilate another country. Oh, and by the way, we're trying to acquire nuclear weapons. Iran is doing that. If they decide tomorrow morning or 10 minutes from now that they just want to go on with their own business and stop wreaking havoc across the Middle East, this whole thing goes away. So you hope to bomb them back to the negotiating table? This moment could mark a turning point in modern history. Signals potential change for Iran and the entire Middle East. Power transitions of this magnitude are rarely clear or immediate. They unfold through uncertainty, internal struggle, and critical decisions made under intense pressure. What happens next will shape regional stability, global diplomacy, and the lives of millions of ordinary people. This is why responsible reporting matters more than ever. In moments of breaking news, facts must come before fear, and confirmation must come before speculation. This story is still developing, and its full impact has yet to be understood. We will continue to follow every verified update as events unfold. If you value clear, factual coverage of major world events, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates.